Welcome back to day 5 of the Octobit 25 challenge. Today we are doing metal. Now with this one I wanted to create a mech or robot. Since when I think of metal I think of, mechanized droids or something like that. So what I ended up doing is creating like an old school 1940s, 50s robot. And real quick, if you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If there is something that you guys want me to see create while doing this challenge or after this challenge, let me down below. Or if you guys have any tips on how I can make these videos more enjoyable, please let me know. Also, real quick, I am a bit tired. I ended up spending all day recording a bulk session of sprites. So I am a little bit tired, so I may not talk to this entire video. That being said, with this one, I kind of just boxed out the shapes just using squares and triangles. The end result is a little bit different from what I originally wanted. Looking at the final results and while I'm going back and looking at this video, I did lose some of the shapes I originally started that I wanted. That was the whole purpose of it, but it is what it is. The whole purpose of these challenges is just to challenge me so I can get better at creating sprites. And so, what is progress without failure? You know what I mean? Sorry guys, like I mentioned, I am a bit tired. Anyways, with this robot, I kind of wanted to give it a little wheel from the beginning to, make him move. However, I couldn't get the shape to come out the way I wanted it to, so at the end I made it look like he was floating. Kind of give it like that old school, hovering arms and body. Kind of like the Jetsons. That's really what I was thinking of. That old school, machine look. So really all I did was just box out the shapes with this literally primitive shapes. That's the best way I can describe it. Again, just squares and triangles. And looking at it now, like I mentioned, I really did, at the end results, I really did end up losing the boxy shape, which I kind of regret, not taking a step back and looking at it. So the head and the helmet did came out alright. Just the body that I wasn't happy, but I did end up liking it way better than the Golem, which again, still my least favorite one so far. Anyways, when creating this one, wanted to give it a little bit of menacing kind of look. I don't know if you guys remember, Lost in Space or any of those old school sci-fi shows. Maybe the movie. I'm probably showing my age. Hence the reason why I'm doing pixel art, because pixel art was peak in video games. And I kind of gave him a little Mansinger. I can't say that. That anime, that's cool, robot anime. If you guys know what I'm talking about, comment below if you guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, go look it up, Google it. So right here, just really boxing out some shapes, kind of giving it a little bit of a more mechanized look, kind of like the chess pieces, almost like, buttons in a screen. Really, like I mentioned, when I'm looking at it, I lost that boxy shape that I wanted to keep, to make it that distinction that he was floating. And, working with a 32x32 canvas as part of the challenge, but really what ended up hurting me with this one was actually the color palette. With such a limited color palette, I can't really add the details like a machine like I wanted it to. So at the end I kind of did like the end result, but looking at it I probably could have done it a little bit better, giving it using the yellow and the orange to give it that metallic look or robotic look, since you really couldn't make it look like metallic. You just needed to give it that emphasis of a robot. But, what's the purpose of a challenge if it's not challenging, So ultimately, still like it better than the Golem. Kind of gives it that, old school diver helmet vibe. And this is something that I can look at, being like in the Jetsons or something like that. Old school sci-fi. They don't make shows like that anymore. It's really sad. It's all CGI. And I think that's why I like pixel art a little bit. It gives me that old school vibe. That magic of, playing old school pixel games. And that's why I like making pixel art, honestly, just so I can remember some of those nostalgic video games from my childhood. So overall with this one, like I mentioned, I lost some of the shapes that I originally wanted to keep. But it's still not bad, so, it is what it is. I probably could have done a little bit better with the colors. Kind of give it that distinction between, what's what. One thing that I did like about this one, is just the head. It does look like a robotic head. I don't know, maybe you could see this droid in a Star Wars movie or Star Wars game or something like that. I don't know. Oh man, I am tired though. The good thing is that I got a bunch of the sprites done. I think I got all the way to fit things, so I got half of the sprites already done. All I gotta do is just dub it over. And then obviously what's it called? Man, I lost the thread of my head. The thumbnails. Just gotta do the thumbnails. And that'd be pretty much it. So ultimately, I didn't think this one came out bad. Looking at it, like I mentioned, I kind of wish I would have come back and re-added some of the shapes that I originally started with. Kind of give it that boxy look instead of being, one single piece. And there probably would have been other ways on how I could have made it, but, I was tired. Ultimately with this one, I think I did end up liking it. And it gives it, old school. I don't know, it reminds me of a football mech. Yeah, in some ways. But anyways, that is the Metal Day 5 challenge. He is a robot or an android. Again, if you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out my socials at slimegrandstudios.com. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for watching.